what has changed is basically not the customer experience itself, but the customer journey. Because at the end of the day, the effect that we see, for instance, the touchless economy, the way we want, to serve the customer in a different way, to give to the customer the possibility to do more self-service. So an acceleration in digitalization of the processes.
Hello and welcome to a whole new episode of Engati CX. I am Drishti, your host for the day, and today you folks are in for a treat because we have a customer experience expert with us on the show. But before I introduce you to our guest, allow me to introduce you to the magic of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code digital CX platform available across 14 channels with 35,000 solutions created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by INC.com, Tech World, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 400,000 visitors annually. And now for our guest, from customer relationship management to customer experience management, Federico Cesconi aims to help business from all over the world to grow with the use of technology and data. He is the co-founder of Sandsiv, a SaaS solution that uses AI to monitor and measure CX and actively manage companies' customer journey. With over 20 years of experience in marketing and data science, Federico understands how challenging it is to keep customers loyal. So now he focuses on helping business build deeper connections with their customers through data mining and analysis. So welcome to the show, Federico. We are
Thank
really
you very
happy to
much.
have you.
Thank you very much.
So great. And before we begin to hear from Federico, remember to subscribe to our channel and tap the bell icon below to get access to exclusive content from thought leaders from around the globe. So Federico, the first question that we have for you is that how can you measure customer experience?
Well, is a very, let's say, big questions, and it will take a lot of time to answer in a proper way. But recently I released a paper, an academic paper related to measure digital transformation, and because we started from the points that according to McKinsey, more or less 80% of the digital transformation failed, and according to Gartner, 50% of the CEO that basically lead companies that go through a digital transformation don't have KPIs in place to measure the digital transformation. And I start from the digital transformation, especially because when you want to measure something, a technology that then basically has an impact on the customer itself, then when you want to measure that, of course, you want also to measure the experience, so how the customer lives that specific experience with the technology and interfacing with the client. So going back to your original questions, is a combination of different measures. For sure, one is the point of view of the customers. The other is basically the point of view of the company. So we have an outside-in view, an inside-out view, and basically the efficient of the process. So measuring correctly a customer experience is not just only measuring satisfaction, but really measuring three different entities that have an impact on the customer journey.
That's true, right? So, what is Net Promoter Score, and is that still able to measure customer experience and deliver actionable insights?
Okay, the problem here, I think, in the years, when I ran my first customer experience project back in 2002, 2003, we used Net Promoter Score as a KPI. Connected to the Net Promoter Score, there is also a methodology, and usually people tend to confuse the two things, the KPI and the methodology. The methodology itself is a beautiful methodology, and you can use the same methodology to measure using different KPIs. So the methodology is very simple. You capture the voice of the customers, you measure the voice of the customer, you understand the insight, you implement the insight in your organization, and then remeasure in a way to understand if you had an impact on the customer experience. The KPIs itself, as I said, I started to use the first time in 2002. I have some concern about some specific statistical robustness of the KPI. Is used a lot, but my personal suggestion is not to just use that KPIs, but to use as well other KPI in conjunction, like very simple customer satisfaction, or what we see, for instance, using WhatsApp, the famous 5 stars is also a very good way to measure customer satisfaction. So I would say the methodology is a very strong and solid methodology. The KPIs, at the end of the day, you can select different KPIs, like for instance, customer effort score, customer satisfaction, the 5 stars, to measure in a proper way the customer experience.
Right, that's true. So, how do you think COVID has changed the customer experience?
In my opinion, what has changed is basically not the customer experience itself, but the customer journey. Because at the end of the day, the effect that we see, for instance, the touchless economy, the way we want, to serve the customer in a different way, to give to the customer the possibility to do more self-service. So an acceleration in digitalization of the processes. Were basically created by this black swan. So this was more than a changer, an accelerator. So what we have seen is really accelerate the digital transformation, and considering the digital the customer journey, not in the past they were considering two ways, or analog or digital. Now what I call the customer journey is phygital, because it's a combination of physic and digital touch points. And the way the COVID changed the the customer experience is really to push the big organization to focus on the phygital change, so providing phygital experience to their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, can you tell us something about BERT or BERT and how does it enhance NLP systems?
Okay, more than me, you should ask Google, because that is something basically discovered by Google. But in the natural language processing world, they really, BERT was kind of game changers in the way the artificial algorithms works in specific business related areas, like for instance topic detection, sentiment analysis, etc., etc. So everything is based on a technology that is called transformers, and this technology approach the natural language processing and other area, like question and answering, understanding of a big documents, etc., etc., in a different way compared to the past. Before that approach, the NLP was really focused on word embedding, so creating vectors, mathematical vectors and things like that. With BERT, it changed a little bit, we always use numbers, of course, because the machine learning use a mathematical approach, but there is let's say, on a very easy way, explaining in a very easy way, there is a possibility to better understand the context. So to better understand the words in its context, the sentence in its context, and really reach an accuracy that before was not possible to reach. So in really few words, this is BERT, but uh, I, if people are really interested, they can really read the paper released by the guys at Google. The title of the paper is all we need is attention, and basically explain technically how a transformer works, and what kind of advantage we can have with that technology.
That's great, Federico. I think for more insights, people can go and refer to that, definitely. So, what do you think is the impact of AI and NLP and similar technologies on customer experience?
Well, the big impact now, you mentioned before BERT, the big impact now will be the whole transformers. What the transformers will bring, in the loop, because on a very high level definition, the transformers will allow us, or will allow, us as a humans to easily communicate with the machines, and vice versa. So this open, a lot of new opportunities, especially in area like natural language understanding, that is, very used in chatbot powered by AI, or in question answering systems, or basically in summarization, translation, a lot of different things. I think the real big impact will be created by these transformers.
So, will it like really make more easy for the customers with these technology coming?
Exactly. It's really, ability to better create a communication that use the human language, not the machine language, between human beings and machines. Could be, as you mentioned, could be a client that basically interact with a company on a specific touch points, and that touch points, instead to have a human beings in the background, as whatever are artificial intelligence agents supporting the conversation.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So, are there any other thoughts that you would like to share with our audience?
No, not really. I mean, you you really cover a lot of interesting points. So I think basically you cover more or less a lot of things I'm personally interested in. I personally focus at the moment. As I said, this at the moment, I'm really excited about this, this whole idea of the transformers and what we can do with the transformers. And I think this is a kind of, new frontiers, or the age at the moment of the technology, to create this better interaction between human beings and machines. So this is the only things I wanted to share, but I think I already shared, answering your questions.
That's great, Federico. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I think the insights that you have shared are really valuable, and the audience is going to enjoy this interview.
Thanks a lot for you, and for your time you spent with me.
Thank you so much. So, we'll be back with a new episode with a brand new expert soon. So, stay tuned, and we'll see you around for the next one.